Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Adawakwa. That's that belong us unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Hakim across the world. Now, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, chapter 20, titled Laws About Military Services, or Service, Laws about Military Service. Right, going on. No, it says, first one. It says here, and by the way, this is the book of Deuteronomy, which means the book of the laws. You could say second laws, but this is a book of laws. First one. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and the people more than thou, be not afraid of them. For Yahweh thy power is with thee, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your heart faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For Yahweh your power, is he that goeth with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. Yeah, man, we gonna get that back in these last days, man. Because there will be a war. You can even find that in the book of Matthew 24. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that had built a new house, and had not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. So basically, go fix up your house, you know what I'm saying? Your newly bought house, or your newly built house. Go. And what man is he that had planted a vineyard, and had not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that had betrothed a wife, and had not taken her, meaning you didn't have sex with her yet? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle, and another man take her. Yeah, because betrothed is being engaged. So back in the days, we had, if you was engaged to a woman, rather by arranged marriages or agreements, or you asked the hand of your father-in-law to be, if you may betroth his daughter, which is engaged to his daughter, and then you take her, which is having sex with her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. Right? Because, how can I say it? Cowardliness actually jumps over to the next. Birds of a feather flock together. So, he might influence you to be a chicken shit too. Right. Verse 9. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, right? So you go to the people, and you're gonna fight with them, and then you go and be like, hey, you want to be at peace, or you want a war, right? So it says here, and if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. Right, tributaries is they're going to pay taxes. Right, so the word tributaries is a stream feeding a larger stream, or a lake. So a stream feeding a larger stream or a lake. So in this case, it's going to be people feeding you the larger one, the one that's in power, right? More, not more. I mean, the ones that more in power. I mean, stronger. The little one is going to feed it. The two. Second dictionary, Merriam what? Merriam-Webster. A ruler or state that pays tribute to a conqueror. Yeah, that's what it is. So a person or state that owed tribute to a more powerful person or state. Tribute, something given or contributed voluntarily as due or deserved. Well, in this case, it's not going to be voluntary to a certain degree because they agreed to it, but it's going to be forced upon them because they are our enemies. Because it says here when you go to war against your enemies. Sorry, I was stretching. Sorry. Right. So, where's the word enemy? I just saw it. Here. Now it says here that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. So they're gonna be servants. And it shall, and it, and if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it, surround it. Besiege, surround it to get the definition. To get the advantage over them. What? What is this? Oh, English, yeah. No. Sorry. Surround. In order to fight against it with armed forces, in order to capture it or force its surrender. Right, so verse 13. Deuteronomy 20 and 13. And when Yahweh thy power had delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. Says, since you didn't want to make peace, I'll kill you. Every male. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoils thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself. That means you're gonna have a lot of women, which would therefore mean that what do you think that there's gonna happen to the women? They're not gonna play chess with them. And thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which Yahweh thy power had given thee. And the children are gonna work. Well, if it's daughters, then you raise them up until they're old enough to be women, and then they're gonna turn into concubines, as will these. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are far, very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which Yahweh thy power doth give thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. So anything wait, let me read it on because it's gonna say it. But thou shalt utterly destroy them. Namely, so it says here, let me read it again. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations. So these things you could do with the other heathen nations, but of these nations, which the Lord is going to mention here, we were not supposed to do that because they were filthy people. You can read the book of Leviticus 18, the book of Leviticus 20, and the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7. Then you can see that these people are not to be married with or have sexual relationships with. Even their daughters, their virgin daughters, you just kill them. That's what the Lord said. Save nothing that breatheth alive. But you did have Tamar, which was a Canaanite, which was where basically King David and the Lord Yahushua came out of. Tamar was a Canaanite woman, which Judah slept with, and then the chosen bloodline came through that. Which nation was he? We don't believe in the Talmud. Bible. She couldn't have been an Israelite because Judah was right there, and yeah, that makes no sense. But anyway, check this out. It says here, Tamar. Wait, let me get it. Here, Tamar was a Canaanite woman, right? Because listen, in order to be an Israelite, you need to come from Israel, and Judah and all his brethren, we weren't a big nation yet, not like that. But anyway, wait. Right, if you read the book of Genesis, chapter 38, you will see that he was in the region of the Adulamites. And it says here in verse 6 that it says, and Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. But here you can see Judah having a wife of a certain man named Shua, which was a Canaanite. So it says here, Genesis 38 and 2, and Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. And then, his firstborn was second born was Onan, and the third was Shelah. Right, so these had a Hamite mother, a Canaanite mother, which the Lord said actually that we shouldn't be dealing with, but he makes, he sees certain ones through the finger. There's a word for it. Exceptions. Yeah, he made an exception for this one, But was wicked in front of the Most High, because it says here 7, and Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. So he was probably doing stuff that is of his mother's side, that wicked Canaanite stuff, which was most likely some witchcraft or some satanic stuff. And then he followed after the footstep of his mother, and then he died because the Canaanites were known to do filthy things. You can read the book of Exodus chapter 18, what those Canaanites were doing, and Mizraim also, which are which is the real name for the Egyptians, which is Mizraim is one of the sons of Ham. And you can read the book of Leviticus 20. Well, I'm gonna glance over it. I don't want to read it. What am I doing? I am Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 3. After the doings of after the doings of the land of Mizraim, which is Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. So the land of Canaan, which is, one of the sons of Ham, and Mizraim is another one of the sons of Ham. Right? These were the things which they were doing. They will sleep with people of their own family, near of kin, which is basically like a brother and sister and stuff like that. They would sleep with their father as their daughter, with their daughter, father and daughter, or daughter and father, which one you want. They would sleep with their mother, son and mother, mother and son. They would sleep with their father's wife. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. That shows you that your father is allowed to have multiple wives. That shows you right there. Because it's not your mother, it's just one of his wives, which is your brother's mother maybe, or your sister's mother. They was having incest, sex with their sisters, and also with the daughter of their father, or the daughter of your mother. Maybe your mother had another husband because her first husband died. Then your mother has his brother, which is your uncle, and then they would have children. And then that child would be, your half sister, so-called half sister, or your so-called half mother. You're not supposed to have sex with that. But they was doing it. Same thing for the father. Your father have multiple wives, and those children are your brothers and your sisters. You could say half, but still, they're your brother and sister. The son's daughter, so the grandfather basically is not allowed to have sex with the daughter of his son, and the daughter of his daughter also not allowed. But these were the things that they were doing there in the land of Canaan, and also in the land of Egypt. As you can see, the Caucasus people, the Edomites, they often reference that in ancient Egypt, in the royal, but not only in the royal families, but it says here, a controversial 2015 University of Zurich study of the remains of elite ancient Egyptians suggests that incest was very common among the pharaohs, yeah, and among the average people also. And it took them thousands of years after that. In 2015, it took them to finally understand that part. You see how stupid these people are. Meanwhile, the Bible says it right here. It says it right here. It's just simple. And this is written, this is written thousands of years before. Funny. That goes to show you the intelligence of an Edomite. But anyway, all these people that go to law for whatever, law of schools and all that kind of garbage. First Corinthians chapter 1 is for all y'all. First Corinthians chapter 1, and let me see. 1 and 26, 25. But the foolishness of the Heavenly Father is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Heavenly Father is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, that how that not many wise men after the flesh, and not many mighty, not many noble are called. Yeah, so not many noble are called. So not many wise men after the flesh are called into this truth. And this is talking about Israelites, outside of the heathen nations. So they're not called. They never will be. Right, and also Leviticus chapter 20. And by the way, Leviticus 18, and they was also doing sodomy things. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind, it is abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down there too. It is confusion. These things were they doing. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these, the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. Said they was doing these things in the land. And also in the book of Leviticus chapter 20, they was doing this. If any man lie with mankind, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination that shall surely be put to death. The blood shall be upon them. These things were the people doing in that land. They was doing these things. They was sacrificing their children unto Moloch. They was having familiar spirits and wizards and witches. These are the things they was doing in those lands. And the Lord said, don't do it. Here, verse 23. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations, which I cast out before you. Which were those? Deuteronomy chapter 7. Here, Deuteronomy 7. Wait, let me see if it says it right here too. That land of milk and honey was the land of Canaan. Let me see. Right. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hast cast out many nations before thee. See, he cast them out. The Hittites and the Girgasites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy power shall deliver them from before, and when Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, so no agreements, no contracts with them, no nothing. Nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? For they will turn away thy son from following me. And that is most likely what happened to because he was wicked. It doesn't specifically go into what wickedness he did, but it says, Genesis 38:7, and Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. So, he was doing one of those crazy things that I just showed you over there. you know, or follow another god, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. I just read Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 4. Yeah, so basically, don't make children with them anything. But here you do see that he did make a child with the Canaanites. He made 3: Onan, and Shelah. And then later, he himself slept with Tamar, but it was unknowing. It was unknowing that he slept with Tamar because she hid her face. She played the harlot. But you can read the chapter for yourself if you have the time. But she was in the region of the Canaanites, so she is most likely a Canaanite, like 99% or something. Because back in the days, you didn't have people mingling with each other like a large, very, very, very large amounts of people of other nations hanging around like you have now. When you look at America, you see different races, but when you look at India, you don't see a lot of so-called mixed breeds. You don't see a lot of you don't see that. You see just one particular type of people of different skin colors, of course. You know, China also. China, of course, Japan. You see a lot of them, a lot of the same type of people in Japan. A lot of the same type of people in Indonesia, Philippines. All these countries, man. All these countries have just one race. You know, Arabia, when you go to the Arab countries, you see a lot of them. You don't see a lot of mixed races. It's only in Europe you can actually kind of find certain places that you would go be and see a whole metropolis, because Esau is the one that gathered all the mingled people together. He's the one that does that. What did I put P for? Gathered all the mingled people. I think it's gathered all the mingled people. Gathered unto himself. People. Where was that again? Habakkuk. Yeah, shit. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, which is his philosophies, and he just breaks the law of the Lord with his philosophies. For example, sodomite is allowed to marry, or women are allowed to divorce you. He comes with these laws. These Edomites, they break the laws of the Lord. And a man is not supposed to dress in the clothing type of a woman, and a woman is also not supposed to dress in the clothing type of a man. It's abomination. He's a proud man. Neither keep it at home. That's why they always all up in anybody's business, all over the place. They go to the Middle East and tell those Arabian like type people, tell them like, yeah, women are supposed to drive a car over here. We don't like this breach of human rights and stuff like that. Meanwhile, in their own countries, they got Jeffrey Epstein's protected them too. He don't care about women nor children. Who enlarges his desire as hell. So he's just like the grave. He keeps on continually eating because the grave, how many people are put in the grave daily? Mm, well, I didn't ask that. How many people are put in there? Yeah, you can imagine that's a lot of people. That a lot of people are buried daily, and a lot of people are born daily. How many people die daily? Here, 6,952 people death an hour. Deaths an hour. I don't know if this is America or not, but yeah, you have 116 deaths a day. Deaths, deaths per second is like every 2 seconds somebody dies. So basically, the grave, which is mentioned as hell, written as hell, is very hungry. The earth is very hungry, and so is a greedy rich man, as you can see here. I'll get back to Deuteronomy. Sorry, I'm going off again. Like on my own path. Sorry, not my own path. I mean like um, on another path was which I shouldn't be doing. Psalm 73 and 7 is the wicked man, right? Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. Concerning oppression. Oh, it's you know, for example, they speak wickedly concerning oppression. Um, you cannot make. Wait, you had a show called wait. They speak wickedly concerning. I'm looking for an example. I have one, but you don't. But you probably have never heard of it because you live in the Americas. But anyway, oh yeah, Thanksgiving. Let me get that one. Thanksgiving. They speak wickedly concerning the present because to them it's a holiday and stuff like that. Or, for example, the Native American clothing that they wear on Halloween is offensive to the Native Americans. A native chieftain or warrior princess costume misrepresents native culture, often includes racist stereotypes and threats. Oh, sorry, and treats culture as some kind of relic of the past, and basically a costume and stuff like that, and making it into a sex thing, like a sex, especially the female clothing is worn as a basically sex slave thing. But it's disrespectful for them. But to the Edomites, it's just something, don't worry about it. It's just, hey, it's not offensive at all. But it's a form of oppression, and they speak lofty concerning it. They speak wickedly concerning it. They be like, oh, that don't matter. For example, that's just one example. They speak lofty, so right. And basically, they have more than a heart's could desire. So they're greedy. They continually want more. They up on the prices on everything. Meanwhile, they already have trillions. They're wealthy beyond wealthy, but they just want to oppress you anyway. And it says death, and cannot be satisfied. They're unsatisfiable. And gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's why when you go to certain countries in Europe, you see a lot of mingled races all bunched up in through each other. And of course, in America, you have that too. But in a lot of places in Europe, outside of the major cities, when you go into those neighborhoods, you see only one race, which is the so-called Caucasus race, these Edomites. So in the major cities, you have like so-called mingled people. But when you go outside of the major cities and you go to these towns and these smaller cities, you will see the majority of the people that live there are them, the Edomites, you know. But yeah, anyway, going on. Now it says, yeah, so Tamar was living in this region over here, which are the Adulamites, which are, so I clicked in here, Adulamite, Hebrew 5726, Hebrew 5726, Adalamaya, Adalamaya, Adalamya, Adalamya, right, Adulamite, which was of a city in the plain country of Judah, formerly a royal city of the Canaanites. So he went to there. But later on we was in that place. But still the point is, formerly a royal city of the Canaanites. And the point is that Judah went over there and started the nation over there. You know, we got bigger because Judah was a man. And if you are now of the tribe of Judah, you come from him. But there are 12 tribes. So, and Tamar, the Tamar that was an Israelite, was the daughter of King David, as you can see here. Tamar, the widow of the son of Judah, the daughter of David by Micah, sister to Absalom. So yeah, that was the daughter of David, but she was an Israelite because she came out of David, and David came out of Judah, so she is a Judite. Right, so you can read further if you want to. And Tamar is also called a region, a place in the southern border of Gad. So yeah, right. So did I read everything right? So Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 17. But thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, as Yahweh thy power commanded thee. So we were not to leave any of them alive. They shouldn't live. But did our people do that? No, they didn't. Judges chapter 2 and chapter 2 and chapter 3. At the end of chapter 2 and the beginning of chapter 3 shows you that even unto that day, we didn't do what the Lord said. And therefore the Lord, you know, he punished us for that. But anyway, so Judges chapter 2 verse 20. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people had transgressed my covenant. Transgress is when you break the law. The covenant of the Lord. Sorry. Transgress means oh man. Oh. Go beyond limits. Dun, 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 dun. Across, go. Basically, you stepped over. Oh yeah, here it said stepped across. Yeah. So across, go, which is you stepped over what? The covenant of the Lord, the rules that He laid down. You stepped over them, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, which are the prophets. And in this case, it was the pastors too, because they know the law to the Levites. I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, because there was constantly wars. In the book of Joshua, when you read about it, there was constantly wars with these Hamites, because they was a very strong people, mighty people too. So we had constantly wars with them, but the Lord did not drive them out because the Israelites were stubborn. So He made them lose a lot of battles, a lot of fights, because they broke the law. If you read the book of Joshua, for example, Joshua chapter 6, if I'm correct, let me see, where they stole, or was it 7? I think it was 7. They stole a Babylonian garment. Here, Joshua 7:11. Israel had sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore, so because they have sinned and because they have stolen, therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were cursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. And in this case, it was a man named Achan. He was the one that stole. It was just one man. And then therefore, 36 men died because of him. And the men of Ai were also Hamites. That we went against, we went to war against. Right, so, let me see something here. Yeah, well, not, yeah, so, verse 22, well, yeah, I don't have to read that. But yeah, so, those people, we were not allowed to actually be with them. But, like I said, there was an exception for Tamar. And plus, out of Tamar came King David, and also then therefore Yahushai, because King David, Yahushai comes out of King David, so the bloodline went through Tamar. Sorry, let me say it again. The bloodline of Judah went through the seed of Judah, and the bloodline of Judah went through Tamar, and then it came to King David, and then it came to the Lord Yahushai. So it doesn't really 100% matter who your mother is and what your mother is. It always 100% matters what your father is and what nation he is of, because you are of that nation. Then, if your father is of that, so yeah. This was King David's daughter, yeah. Right, so it says here, but I was not thinking of that Tamar, by the way. Yeah, that's why I always often say that, yeah, you got to watch out with these names, because they often have the same names, and it can confuse you. It confuses me all the time. Like, which dude are you talking about, or which, in this case, Tamar, are you talking about? Sometimes I don't know. I need to really go look and read and be like, oh yeah, okay, right. Anyway, Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 18. That they teach you not to do after their abominations, which the Lord was talking about in the book of Judges, actually. Let me see. Yeah, here. Let me read it anyway. Judges chapter 2, verse 22. That through them, so through these people, these other nations, I may prove Israel. So that he's going to test the Israelites by leaving through these heathen nations, by leaving them there, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein as their fathers did keep it or not. Therefore the Lord Yahweh left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. So he had a plan all along anyway, because Joshua was waging war against the Hamitic nations. Let me see, how many kingdoms did Joshua beat? Let me see, 31 kings? Joshua 12. Let me see. How many kings did he kill? Let me see, Joshua 12. Joshua chapter 12. And it was like 30 or... Wait, it's going to say it here. 31. It was 31. Yeah, I got it right. Did I type 31? Yeah, I typed 31, yeah. Right, so 31 kings. Okay, you can already imagine how many people he fought. It was thousands upon thousands, man. Like one king already has like a few thousand, maybe 100,000 men. I don't know. But hey, they are armies. I mean, a king has armies, right? So, and who were we fighting? We were fighting here, Joshua chapter 12, verse 8. In the mountains and in the valleys, and in the plains and in the springs and in the wilderness and in the south country. Who was he fighting? The Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hippites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, one. All these places, you have to understand they was in the land first. Don't forget that. Because the Lord said, these nations that are greater and mightier than thou, I'm going to give you their land because of their wickedness, the wicked things that they were doing. So this could be potentially hundreds of thousands of people, you know, that he killed. Joshua and his men. The Lord sent him to go do that. Right. So, and then you have, of course, Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now, these are the nations which Yahweh left, and it goes on through, from Judges 2, it goes on through to Judges 3, of course, to prove Israel by them, to test them, even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan, because we was fighting with them the whole time. Only that the generation of the children of Israel might know to teach them war. The Lord wanted to teach us war, teach us to fight our enemies. So that shows you that we're not supposed to be friends with all these other heathen nations around. But nowadays, just like how Judah actually did have a friend, and his friend was Hiram. His friend was Hiram. Hira was his friend. Let me see. Where does it say it? Friend. Here, his friend Hira. He and his friend Hira, the Adulamite. So Judah, it says here, verse 12. And Judah was comforted and went up unto his shearers, his sheep shearers, to Timnah, he and his friend Hira, the Adulamite. So he was a Canaanite, which was his friend. But the scripture does say, if it be possible, be peaceful with all men. If it's possible. Romans 12 and 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, so as much as you have within the tolerance that you have within you, live peaceably with all men. So that means 100% of people. You could just live peaceably with them. Just don't follow after them, and don't suck feces out their butt cheeks, like what they nowadays call house girls and stuff like that. Don't do that, man. Since back in the days they used to call them house niggers. But anyway, namely, Judges 3 and 8, namely 5 lords of the Philistines and of and all the Canaanites and the Sidonians, right? Because the Sidonians was not mentioned in all the other scriptures that I just read. The Sidonians wasn't mentioned there, but there were more, but few wasn't mentioned. There are mentioned other places, right? So and the Hittites that dwell in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath, which were all Hamites. Hamites was living there, and we was fighting against them. And they were to prove Israel by them. How? To see if they would follow or marry. The Lord wanted to see, like, you know what? I'm not going to kill them. I'm not going to make you strong enough to kill them. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave them around to let them linger, to see if the sons of the fathers of the Israelites, if their children are going to grow up and start to have children themselves, and then start not teaching their children, like, these are your enemies, don't mingle with them. Don't make marriages onto them. Do not follow after their gods, because they have satanic things, that they worship and do. And they do witchcraft and all those stuff, and they are also harlots, whores, prostitutes, and stuff like that, which the scripture says there shall not be. There shall not, Deuteronomy 23 and 17, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor sodomite of the sons of Israel. So this is strictly forbidden. This is a law written in the book of laws, second laws. So you are not allowed as an Israelite to have whore daughters, a prostitute. You're not. What are you doing? Leave that up to the heathen nations, man. What are you doing, man? You're not. That's why I always in my soul, I'm not trying to be pornographically here, which I often am. But sorry, not today. But Back in the days, okay, way back in the days. Since way back in the days, I have never liked black females in porn. I just looked at it, got, ew, what are you doing, man? It's somebody's mother, somebody's sister. You bring shame to your father, man. What the fuck are you doing? You know? And when I see a sodomite ass Jake, I get, man, I'll be like, what the, man, what? Listen, white boys, you need to leave that alone, man. Go, they supposed to be doing it, man. I mean, like, anyway, so I always had it in my spirit that, especially the women, you know, I never liked that. Looking at them being hoes and stuff, I never liked that. Now I know why. It's basically in your soul. You're not supposed to have the daughters of Israel. It doesn't matter what type of color, skin color they have. If I know that your father is an Israelite, I got a problem with it. Because I'm thinking of him like, no, man, that's probably most likely feels fucked up. Yeah, I can feel, you know, I think I can feel it because I feel it. I wouldn't want that to be my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got different skin colors, man. You know, different skin colors. So, any one of these, you know, there's a Hamite, of course, but you still have our people that have that same type of skin color. In Haiti, for example, Haiti and West Africa, you know, and there's nothing more worse than a dark-skinned male sodomite. Shit look horrible. I because the dark skin, what does it represent? It's some masculinity type thing, man. Like, hey, this guy look dangerous. You know, it looks rough. Dark skinned men look rough. You know what I'm saying? And then you see him in high heels and makeup on, and be like, God, burn this nigga with fire, man. You're a disgrace. You know, you're a disgrace. But anyway, let's go on. Right. So we was not supposed to be. The Lord was testing us to see if we would make marriages with them, if we would go follow after them, because remember they was sacrificing their children to Molech, man. They was doing this. Leviticus chapter 20 verse 3. And I will set my face against that man. Oh, sorry, first one again. Thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the stranger that sojourn in Israel, which is an Israelite foreigner, even if another nation comes and hangs around you as your friend, and then he start to do this, that which I'm gonna read, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And what is Molech? Molech is this thing, child sacrifice back in the days. Molech is a Canaanite idol associated with the sacrifice of children, burning children, man. Nowadays, Molech is Planned Parenthood. This is Molech nowadays. These are the beasts that promote these type of things, man. They promote this, all of them, because abortion is this is what it is. They call it Planned Parenthood now, but you know they had different names for it back in the days. Far more humane than those barbarians with their clamps and vacuums, right? Clamps and vacuums, which is what they use for clamps, vacuums. Abortion. Well, wait. Let me. Before I click images, let me pause. Oh yeah, you don't see nothing gruesome. Well, if you know how gruesome it is, because they take this thing over here, which is the clamper thing, and then this is the suction thing to suck off all the residue that comes out of it. I have a video of the abortion thing, but it's done in a cartoon, so you can look how horrible it looks like, because first and foremost, the skull is being crushed by this thing over here. This thing. This the clamper thing. Oh, it's a small picture, okay. This clamper. The doctor explains to you that this has a python grip, man. Like a grip beyond grips. This thing doesn't let go. The little baby teeth. Funny, I call it baby teeth. The little teeth over there. And then you have the suction abortion too. Suck that baby out of there, like how bitches suck dick. You know, it's just done without thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, man. So the Lord said, "You kill that person if they do this." Well, nowadays, don't go do it. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm reading what would be done unto you, and what they was doing back in the days, to defile my sanctuary and to profane my holy name. Yeah. So, when he gave it a seed unto Moloch, and can not. Yeah. I'll just read. You could just read the rest for yourself if you have the time. But anyway, you're not supposed to be sparing people like that. You see them, you die. They die. That's about. Let me read it. Leviticus 20:4. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth of his seed unto Moloch, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Moloch from among their people. Right, so you destroyed them, their whole family. They didn't say anything. They kept their mouth closed when one of their people, their daughter or their son or their cousin or their nephew, whatever, of your family, and anybody knows about it, all y'all die. And some familiar spirits that goes into witches and witchcraft and stuff like that, which is what the heathen nations were doing back in the days. But yeah, basically, Deuteronomy 20:18, that they teach you not to do after their abominations, which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against Yahweh your power. When thou shalt beseech a city a long time, in making war against it, to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them. So you're not supposed to just randomly butcher up trees just because you are now in a besieged fight to go against anyone, heathen nations, anyone. You're not allowed to do that as an Israelite. And thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege. Sorry. Right, pardon. Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, so no fruits and stuff like that, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee, until it be subdued. So a city that maketh war with us, you can actually do this. Bulwarks are these type of things. They're shaped like pencils, but it's not called bulwarks anymore, because nowadays it's called, I forgot the name. City defense. Shit, I forgot the name. What it was, man. A defensive wall shaped like a bunch of pencils. I think it's Bulwarks in the Dutch. Out. Bulwark wood. Let me see. Yeah. No. Yeah, I know it's a defensive structure, but I forgot the name. Ancient bulwarks. Here, Palisade. Sorry. This is it. Palisade. I know this a bit because this thing. Nowadays it's called a Palisade. Palisade. See that? Palisade. Wait. Palisade. So yeah, but nowadays they have these type of things, fences and stuff like that. But back in the days, it used to be this. It used to be this. Of course, the iron is more stable and more stronger and more powerful. If it was back in the days, they could just set this on fire, and this, you can't really set this on fire, but like it wouldn't be this thin neither, because it would then be of this thickness, and then you can't really do anything. Especially if it's full on the inside too, like solid. I mean, solid iron, and then it's shaped like this. Yeah. You're not passing through, bro. You need a car for that, like a tank or something. But yeah, you are allowed to do that one. But the other trees you're not allowed to chop. Only if the tree is known not to have fruit, like these trees. These trees. I think they call it pine trees, right? Yeah, pine trees. For example, I'm not saying only them, but these are trees that are known not to give fruit, right? Fruit. They do have something fruits. Pine tree fruits. Yeah, they do have this thing, but I don't know what it is for. I mean, I don't know if you can eat it. You can probably use it for some kind of herbs or something like that. I do think that, if I'm correct, because they use it also for smells. Pine smells, pine tree fruit herbs, health. Hey, health benefits. Pine tree, yeah, pine tree fruit. Pine nuts can increase your energy level due to their protein, iron, and magnesium. I don't even know how you make that to. I do know that it has something. So sorry, I wasn't thinking. But then as I was typing it, I started to think like, wait a minute, they do have some sort of fruit, but you can't eat it. But you can probably grind it up and do stuff with it. You know how to prepare it or something. Pine nuts. Huh? Let's actually talking about this then. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. So okay, maybe you can't chop this one off. Yeah. So just another tree, man. Fruitless trees. Fruitless trees, and these type of trees. You could just take them and just chop them up and do stuff with them. Make your house or whatever. But the trees that actually give fruit and that which are man's life, you cannot use to build certain things. So yeah. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Wait a minute. Did I say it good? Wait. Let's just keep it at this. Um, you cannot use trees that give fruit for a bulwark, because now I'm not sure if they used to use trees that do bear fruit for building houses. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't recall reading it actually, but I, I I have not read everything. So and sometimes I do read a chapter, and a lot of things fly over my head, and then I have to read it again. Not have to, but I do have to read it again. But I mean, like, and then when I read it again, um, I will notice like, hey, I didn't notice that. Oh, okay, then so that's how you add on to your knowledge of the scriptures. You read it multiple times. You have to read it multiple times actually in order to understand it 100%. So maybe next year, if I was to do this video, I would have more information on the. I mean, if I was to do this chapter, the video on this chapter, individual chapter, I might have more information. Because you're learning continually, like flowing water. You always learn continually with these scriptures. It's never ending, man. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.